All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, I highly recommend that you hit like and subscribe. I want you to be able to get the content that we bring you every single day. We know it's a struggle. Creating mental discipline in your mind, finding those rituals and those things that will help you to create your best life. And what I want to do today is I want to talk to you, and I tend to do this. I share lessons that I've learned over the last 20 years, doing events all over the world, working with some of the greatest thought leaders, authors, experts, successful business entrepreneurs. But today, I want to share with you 3 lessons that I've learned from Joe Rogan. And these are lessons that I think and I believe are going to change your life completely. The first lesson, and this is for those of you that really are struggling right now, and it works for both, because you may even be crushing it right now, but tapping up against a certain level and you're trying to push past that. But these 3 lessons I believe will really help you. The first lesson is live your life like you're the hero of your story. Now, you've probably heard that before. I mean, he's had some real viral videos with that, but live your life like you're the hero of your story. Write down what you want and go get it. He talks about best advice is to live your life like you are the hero. Stop chasing other heroes. Everybody's life is a dumpster fire. Everybody's life is a disaster. Just pretend that you're starting the movie of your life and it shows you as a complete loser, and then decide not to be that person anymore. It's simply a decision. You have to do what you want, and do what you want that documentary of your life to be like. So what do you want your kids to see? What do you want to be remembered by? What do you want to be your legacy? Remember that everyone loves a good success story. But what do you want? That's the key. What do you want? And what do you know that can help you to push through all of these challenges that you have? You got to know that massive failure that's turned around is what people really want to be able to see, and that's what you can do in your life. But you got to write it down. You've got to think in your mind, and you've got to learn to adapt that you are the hero. Write down your story. Craft your story. Writing it down does make a difference. So many times we're caught up in our thoughts, but we don't write down what it is we're trying to create. Don't be like most people that just spiral out of control. You know, there's nothing more annoying to me than people that just complain. And people that don't do anything about it. Nobody wants to be around that type of person. Nobody wants to be around a complainer. Nobody wants to be around someone that isn't making progress in their life. And so that first lesson that I think is so critical, it's so important, is be the hero of your own story. Stop waiting for other people to come and rescue you. It's not going to happen. Stop letting the outside influences of the economy and the marketplace and your business and people around you determine what it is that's going to happen to you in your life. Become the hero of your own story. The second lesson that I really think is a good one, and this is one I've talked about before on the podcast that Rogan talks about, is seek and stop seeking comfort. Seek the uncomfortable. Stop seeking comfort. See, most people think that you're going to get to some destination where it's easy. But nobody, and here's the thing, and listen to me when I say this, nobody should really want that. You shouldn't really want that, because certainty is boring. We crave uncertainty, but we at the same time hate uncertainty. But what you've got to learn to do in your life is stop seeking the comfortable and start challenging yourself. We need to be stimulated and challenged. So stop trying to get rid of all those challenges in your life. Start to embrace them. You know, it's sad to see people that stop trying and stop struggling and they just give up. There's nothing great about the easy road. There's nothing great about a soft, easy life. Learn to crave the hard road. Learn to crave the challenges. Learn to make it a game. See, when you can make these challenges a game, you can start to enjoy them more, and you can start to recognize how important they can be in your own personal growth. Also, stop being part of a world that just seeks comfortable things. Become one of those top percenters that seek lessons and seek difficulty, because you know that it's leading you down a road to become a better version of yourself. And you can't get that way trying to find comfortable things. It's through those things of difficulty that you're going to grow. You know, looking back on difficult times in your life, you know what I mean. We've all been there. You've had situations that were a struggle, that were a grind, that were difficult. Maybe it was people giving you a hard time. Maybe it was a bad relationship. Maybe it was a failure in a business. Maybe you've had some difficulty struggling financially or personally, or you've struggled with depression or anxiety. But at the end of the day, you're constantly growing into a better version of yourself. And some of those most difficult things that you've gone through, you've survived. And you will thrive because of those things. The minute that you become idle and you're not doing anything, you're going to start to feel like crap. I always laugh when I hear Joe Rogan say, hello, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem. You know, when you stop struggling and you stop trying, you're welcoming all those negative things into your life. And you may think I'm not pursuing positivity or pursuing personal development, so you're not on a path. But here's the thing. When you're not pursuing those things, you're actually pursuing the opposite, because you will be influenced. Your mind will work against you. And you've got to recognize, as he puts it, human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. If you don't respect that, then you're not going to win, and you're not going to be happy. The ability and need to create rewards and overcome challenges is deeply carved into your DNA. You know, family, friendships, winning, learning, growing, struggling, hurting, emotions, challenges, good, bad. It's all part of being human. It's part of this human experience. Just learn to embrace it. Learn to accept it. You know, so like Wayne Dyer talks all the time, instead of trying to push and force and make things happen, learn to embrace them. Learn to just accept them and use them to your benefit. And so that's the second lesson. The third lesson I want to talk to you about that I got from Joe Rogan is one you've heard many times. 90% of success is just showing up. 90% of success is just showing up. You got to learn to create discipline in your life. And this ties to this because discipline's going to carry you through when you don't feel like doing things. Discipline will help you to just show up, because discipline helps you to get things done. And when you're doing things, you'll have more success. It simply comes down to action and actually doing things. That's it. That's the biggest part of success, is just doing something. And you can't do that unless you just show up, which discipline will help you to do. You know, if you only act when you feel like it, then let's face it, you're not going to do it. You're going to be insecure, lazy, depressed, anxious, and most importantly, you're going to start to lose your confidence, your self-esteem, your happiness, your self-worth. That's what I was talking about a minute ago. Just because you're not doing things, don't think things aren't working against you. Losing that confidence, self-esteem, and happiness is going to happen if you're not moving. And so, you know what I mean. You've been there. I've been there. You know what I'm talking about. So you've got to show up. That's the first step in actually creating action. Everybody, just listen to me here. You're not alone. Everybody feels the same. Nobody wants to do tough or difficult things. But there are days that require you to push through anyway. There's always going to be days that you don't feel like doing the work. There's always going to be more of those days than when you do feel like doing it. Just accept that. It's just part of life, and it's okay. I'm not saying accept not doing things. I'm saying accept the fact you're not going to feel good. If you're constantly focused on trying to make yourself be at a peak state all the time, it's not going to happen. So just accept the days that you don't. It's just life. That's okay. And understand and be okay with the fact that you've accepted this principle I talk about with the prosperity principles of acting in spite of your mood. You don't have to be in the mood to do things. You can do them anyway. And most importantly, it is okay just to show up some days. Because remember, showing up is 90% of success. Most people don't even show up. It's that activity of showing up that is 90%. That's what we're talking about. It's not just about the wins. It's not just about the consistency. It's not just about the discipline, but it is about showing up. Because nobody wants to get out of bed and work out. Nobody wants to spend quality time when they're depressed or upset or tired. No one wants to act in spite of their mood. Nobody wants to do that last phone call, that last business meeting, that last contact for your company. But guess what? Do it anyway. Learn to push past that 40% mark I've talked about David Goggins goes through so many times. Learn to push back what everyone else does where they stop at 40%. Learn to crave being in the fire of difficult things. Learn it. Condition yourself to it. Stop being tired, lazy, and unmotivated. Start being a winner. Start being a grinder. Start recognizing yourself as the hero of your story that's going to do it regardless of anything else going on in your life. And that's another thing. Start having some pride in your ability to work, in your ability to show up. You've got to recognize that showing up is a win. Because the more you condition your mind to recognize those wins in life, the more you're going to win. So give yourself some credit. Have some compassion for the fact that showing up is a win. And here's my final thought. I truly believe that most people doubt themselves and their abilities. That's why they stop at 40%. They think that they lack self-confidence. They think that they have low self-esteem. But understand this. First of all, there's a big difference between self-doubt, self-esteem, and self-confidence. I want you to spend some time trying to really understand the difference between those three things. You can go back to a couple podcasts I talked about that. But learn to work on and recognize the difference between self-doubt, self-esteem, and self-confidence, because each of those are levers that you can pull in your life. For example, you can overcome self-doubt by growing your confidence. And your confidence can grow simply by acting. The more you act, the more you show up, the more confident you're going to get. And guess what? You're going to grow and overcome that self-doubt. So here's the thing. This is the message I really want to leave you with. Do more, be more, have more, risk more through your actions and showing up. And as Joe Rogan says, be the hero. Stop looking for someone else. Stop looking for the easy stuff and just show up. Do the work and you'll get the results and you'll become more confident and you will eliminate your self-doubt. Look, make a decision to accept that despite all the odds, despite your history, despite your past circumstances, you're worth it. You have value. You're unique because you are. The number one problem people make is that they base their self-worth on outside factors. Their appearance, their social media, their skills, their resume, their track record. You have self-worth by deciding to have self-worth, period. I'm sorry, I kind of got off on a little tangent there. Let's go back. So the three lessons that I've learned from Joe Rogan and these things that I've heard over and over is be your hero of your story. Stop seeking comfort and just show up. These simple rules are very specific things you can do to change your life. And if you're ready to move forward, and if you're stuck at all right now, and if you're looking for a change, a miracle, an opportunity, a new plan, then bottom line, be it. Be the hero of your story and write the next chapter of your life, and you will have some results. That's my message for today. I hope it helps you. I hope it inspires you. I hope it makes a difference. I hope that you'll start to act. I hope you'll share this podcast with other people so that they know that they can do it and they can be the hero of their story as well. That's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I look forward to talking with you soon. This is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind.